We're really excited to announce the release of version 1.8.3 of Closed Caption Creator. In this release, we've added a bunch of new features and some changes to the UI. In this video, we're just going to go over some of those changes quickly and highlight some of the new features that we have for you guys. So let's jump in here. I have a recent project that I'm going to open here. And so if we go into this project, let me select a video. Here we go. And I'll import a video into my project. You'll notice I have a couple event groups here and a few UI changes. So the first thing that you guys will notice is that we've removed the add new event and remove event button. That's been moved down to the bottom here. So if you have to add and remove events, you can do that from here. So you can create new events and delete them here. And we did that so that we could make room in the editor controls here for a few new features. So we have a new shift word back, shift word forward, and then shift line back, shift line forward. So for example, I can show you guys how that works here. I have 3 events in my event group, and I have 3 lines here. So to start out, we'll move the first line up and the second line down. So if I move the line up, that moves up into the first event. And then if I move the second line here, move the line down, that moves down to the second line here and joins the third event here. So that is the shift line example. And the same thing for shift word example, I can basically move words back and forth. So this is done word by word. And then same thing for here. So down, and then if I have to move those back, I can do that too. So that's all done exactly in the editor controls. And these are also available as shortcut keys. So you can actually go up and see them in the shortcut keys here. We have shift word forward, shift line back, shift line forward. So you can set those up as well if you want to make those shortcuts. So that's easy. The next feature that we're excited to kind of release to you guys is the QC spot check feature. Now checks for overlaps. So when you guys are actually setting up your style guides, so if I go into options here, I create a style guide. You'll notice that we have a new option here for detect overlap. So if you create any style guide that you create now, you have the option to check to make sure there's any overlaps in your project. So for instance, if I come back here and I come down to the bottom here, let me close this window, and then I go to overlap these 2 functions. So for instance, if there is an overlap between the 2 events, instead of waiting till I export the project to find that out, I can actually come in here, select my style guide, and then run the review. And then what that's going to do is if I select the first event here, so there's a bunch of issues here, but if I select the first event in the list, it'll show me all the errors. So one of the errors that I'm seeing is the character count is wrong, the duration between the events is wrong, and then it also fills the overlap test. So you'll notice that actually shows up as an error now, so that kind of allows you to catch it beforehand. And you can fix that rather easily, so you can either come in here, select the next event, and then snap it to the end, right? Or you can also do the same thing, and change it that way. So that kind of allows you to catch things before you actually go to export your captions or your subtitles out to a file. So hopefully that helps you guys. The last thing that we're going to cover today is the new audio description templates. So this is actually a brand new feature that we're kind of showing. So when you create a new transcript, like an AI transcript, so if we set this through for automatic transcription and then we submit that job, in the import dashboard here, when you select your transcript, you now have the option, if you have the AD plugin, right? So if it's a subscription add-on, basically if you go into more options, you can now create an AD template from that. So you can see here what it does. It creates a brand new event group right down here, and then it creates all of your events beforehand for AD, so you can generate basically anywhere in here is where AD dialogue would fit, right? So it basically creates anything between talking. We'll create some events for you. So hopefully that makes it a little easier getting started with audio description projects. It'll basically mark all the silent parts or where there's no dialogue so that you can place the AD tracks. That's pretty much it. As always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to support. We're here to help. And then if there's anything else that you guys feature requests, we are doing releases every month now. So you should get a release February, mid-February. And then we're taking feature requests for the March release. So if there's anything that you want added, feel free to reach out and we'll see if we can get that in for you guys.